So back in the sailing saddle again. This is the broad plan for the summer. 30th April, we are boat is currently in Alcaidesa, which is just here in Spain, but beside Gibraltar. So we're going to take the boat up the south coast of Spain, past Cartagena, Alicante, over to Ibiza, and from Ibiza we are going to go over to Palma, and that's the first leg of a 3-leg journey over the summer. That's going to take about 2 weeks, and then from there I've got a crew flying out on the 21st of May. We're going to take the boat from Palma in Mallorca over to southern Sardinia, and we shall probably have a couple of days at the bottom of Sardinia before we carry on to go to Palma in Sicily. We've got about 8 days for that leg, so it's quite it's quite tight. This is probably about 48 hours of sailing, and this is probably about 36 hours of sailing. So yeah, we've got enough time, but we can't be hanging around, so I hope the weather's kind to us. The guys who are coming out for that leg are then flying back from Palermo, and I've got Mark, a friend of mine who sailed the Atlantic with me last year, who is coming out to join me in Palermo, and we are going to have a trip over to Greece. So what I really want to do is do the south coast of Sicily. I've done the north coast now about 4 or 5 times. What I really want to do is do the south coast, just for a bit of variety. The problem is prevailing winds are from the east, so they tend to blow up this south coast. So hopefully that's going to be kind to us. So all being well, we'll come down the south coast. We'll go across to Greece. We might go down as far as Pylos down here, maybe to Methone, which I've been to before. And then up to Zante, spend a bit of time in the Ionian Islands. So you've got Kefalonia, which is really nice, and go up to Levkos through the Levkos Canal, and then we're going to end up in Guvia. So that is the plan. I've got about 2 weeks with Mark, so that should be fun as well. So that will get me to about the middle of June, and then I've got a couple of short sort of holiday trips available in August and September before I lay up the boat in Preveza, which is just in this little inlet here. So that's where I'm laying up the boat for the winter. So that's the plan. So let's see how we get on with stage 1. So here we are, morning of the 30th of April. Very exciting. Twyford Station, on my way into Heathrow Terminal 3 to get my flights to Gibraltar. The easiest way I normally find is to get this Elizabeth line through to Hayes and Harlington, change there, and the Elizabeth line then goes through and stops at Heathrow. So pretty easy journey, about 50 minutes all in all. Yeah, so here we are at Heathrow, 30th of April, and escalator up to T3, which is where the jib flight goes from. Nice to see fast track working so well. Been here about 15 minutes so far. One person checking the rejected baggage, and I've got 2, so hopefully we'll speed up a bit. There we are, just arrived in Gibraltar. Flight was on time, so arrived about 12:30. Got a hire car to pick up now, and Just going to head to the boat as well, and then I've got the guys to pick up this evening about 9 o'clock in Malaga. So yeah, so lots to sort out on the boat though. I'm going to try and do some shopping this afternoon. So I think it's a bank holiday tomorrow, so all the shops are going to be closed tomorrow. So that's my plan. Here we are, Alcaidesa Marina again. See how the boat's fared. Haven't been here since January, I don't think. So yeah. First difficulty we overcome when I got to the marina office was the saga of the keys. I was given these, not what I left. I left a set that looked like this, and transpired that the guy that had worked on the boat had now left with my keys. So here we are on the boat. Picked up the guys last night. Got back here about 11 o'clock. So, bite to eat, a couple of beers, and a bit of a short night. But it's a lovely day today. And set them to work cleaning the deck. It is astonishing how much sand gets on the boat from the carried across from Africa. Every time it rains, the boat gets covered in sand. So yeah, we've got lots to do. Whew, dear, I don't know where to start really, to be honest, but yeah, good cleanings, get the sails up, sort out the sail battens, got to recommission the engine, recommission the jenny, do the water maker, empty the tanks of water, refill them again. Whew, yeah, lots to do. Got to recommission the autopilot because they've put a new cable on the new helm steering cable, so that'll need recommissioning. Yeah, when the boat was out, they did some new bearings, replaced the bearings on the rudder as well. So yeah, I think we have got a lot of work to do. The other thing is the weather is not very favourable for us because at the moment the wind, it's basically an easterly, so it's blowing the wrong way that we want to go. On Sunday, in 2 days time, it turns around to be a westerly, which is what we want, so we'll probably be stuck here for a couple of days anyway. But lots to sort on the boat. Oh yeah, the other thing is that the guy who was supposed to sort out sail battens, the main sail battens, has not put them in. He's left them in a big pile for me to do, and today it is 1st of May, so it's official bank holiday in Spain. Everybody's not working. Then you've got the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, nobody's working then. So we're stuffed until Monday, so I think we'll just have to leave with them and do the best we can if you want to leave before then. So yeah, lots to do, so let's get on with it. So here we are at the end of 2 days of work. There's always lots to do on a boat when you get back to it. It's been laid up for a while. Recommission the engine, recommission the generator, done the freshwater maker, just cleaning the teak decks, which were absolutely filthy, and yeah, put some new sail rope bags on. We fixed the light in the cockpit as well, which was playing up, a new socket in there. And yesterday we did the sails, we did the main sail battens and the foresail battens as well. Put the foresail up as well. So I think we're pretty much ready to go. Still blowing a westerly, an easterly, which isn't great. But it's forecast to change, to drop down this evening and then change tomorrow to westerly, which is what we want. So I think we're likely to head off tonight and just live with what we get given. So we'll see how we get on. There we are. Saturday night, out in downtown Gibraltar, going to fish and chips to educate the frogs a bit about what English life is really like. A beer and fish and chips, how about that? So here we are, Sunday morning. Tried to leave yesterday, fuel station was shut, so we delayed until first thing this morning. It's now 8 o'clock in the morning. It is a bit grey, actually, to be honest, today. But I just downloaded the forecast, and we've got a great forecast to go to Cartagena. The wind's just turned westerly, as we were forecast to do. Pretty quiet at the moment, but around about midday it's forecast to blow up to about 15-20 knots from up the arse, so it's perfect for getting along the coast. So forecasted to have quite a quick journey actually, and a little bit of sea but not very much sea, so should be a good sail up to Cartagena, which is probably a little bit less than 2 days. Probably we'll do it in about 40 hours, so we might get there first light on Tuesday, I would have thought. So we'll see how we get on. We are leaving Alcaidesa with a rock behind us, and out there you can see lots of boats anchored out in the Bay of Gibraltar. I don't know if there are more than normal because of the shenanigans in Iran, but we're going to go around Puerto Europa and then head up to Cartagena. So first bit of the trip, don't think there's much wind, and then fills in round about lunchtime, so we should have a good sail. There we are, just outside Malaga. We've got some dolphins, but disappeared. Where have they gone? They're over there. So, our first night at sea, and yeah, yesterday was a bit of a frustrating day. Left Alcaidesa at 8:30 and waited for the sea to fill in. It didn't fill in, so we now have the wind, and it's blown about 16 knots. It's been up to about 20, and in terms of our position, we are now just gone past Malaga, south of Malaga. So, yeah, and we're heading for Cartagena. So, yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I've got a 2-hour shift. Looking out, it's reasonably clear. Got a few boats that have passed out to the starboard side, and yeah, the sea's a bit rocky. Decided to put just the main out, so we're running with the main, doing about 6 knots. 5.5, 6 knots, just running with a full main out. Yeah, we are bouncing around a bit because the sea's got up a little bit, but it's quite livable, and we'll make some good progress. So here we are on day 2 of our sail from Alcaidesa to Cartagena. I'm not sure if you can hear me over the wind, but it is pretty howling at the moment. Yep, so this is our second night at sea. We've lost the wind, dropped right down, and you probably hear in the background that we are motoring. We're just south of Cartagena and heading up to Alicante. So I decided to push on to Alicante. Should get in there about lunchtime-ish. So we booked a place in the port just south of Alicante for the night. And then we can reappraise our plans. The weather is a bit all over the place. So we've got 2 more crossings. One to get over to Ibiza and the other to get over from Ibiza to Mallorca. But yeah, looking at the long range weather forecast, there's quite a few pretty windy days, so we just need to pick and choose our days. So I'll have a bit of time probably later on today when we get there, studying the weather map. But yeah, everything's going well. Well, Tuesday morning, you see the sunrise just behind us, my favourite time of day. Love it first thing in the morning. And we're just on our final approach into the little port just south of Alicante. So yeah, you can see behind me there the coast, settlements on the coast, and it's 48 hours since we left Alcaidesa, so done just over about 330 miles or something, I think, and due in about I think about 11 o'clock we should be due in, so hopefully they'll find a berth for us, and meanwhile going to enjoy the rest of the sunrise. Yeah, so this is a bit of a bonus. We're about 20 miles out from the marina, and wind's just picked up. It's about 40 degrees off the nose, so perfect morning sailing with the sun over there. So it's a lovely morning along the coast. See all the buildings over there. So yeah, beautiful morning and nice sail. Oh, and just in case, I'll put the fishing line out the back. Anything that looks like it's interested in the squid lures that I've got out the back. It's this seagull up here. Dive bombing my line. To do a mark and catch him on the end of my line, but we'll see how we get on. There's a few fishing boats ahead of us, so there's obviously some fish here somewhere. So we're just leaving Santa Pola. Nice day over here. It's pretty calm this morning. Got a journey about 50 miles up to Malaga before we traverse over to Ibiza. So yeah, it's a lovely morning here in Spain. So here we are in Malaga after an eventful day. We are just on the east coast of Alicante, ready to strike over to Ibiza. I think we're going to go at probably 4 in the morning to make an early start, because it looks like there's headwinds coming our way. So we'll motor a bit and get a bit of a head start, and then probably have to tack over there. Today has been a pretty difficult day. It's taken us about 12 hours to do 45 miles, which is not normal. And we've tacked just about all the way here with headwinds. It's been pretty brutal, but we've got here, and it's a beautiful spot. It is a nice spot. There's a marina just behind me over there, and this is a spot that we've been to before. There's a little cafe which is just about there, where I swam ashore with Bex, and we had sangria last time we were here, and we've got one other boat which is here, which is sharing the anchorage with us. Last time we were here there were about 20 boats moored here, so it's a lot quieter, but a nice little spot and a good leap-offing stage to Ibiza. So yeah, weather's very mixed over the next week. It's all over the place. Booked a place in Mallorca for a couple of nights because it looks like it blows up to about 30 to 40 knots for a couple of days, and I don't want to be out in that. So they've just confirmed that booking today, which is good news. So we'll get across there and see how we get on. Yeah, so we've just left Malaga this morning at 5 o'clock. It's now 7 o'clock. Already got about 11 miles under our belt. Beautiful sailing, as you probably see behind me. The sea is pretty flat, and we've got a constant, probably 12, 13 knot wind, which is sending us along quite nicely. So yeah, it's a good sail on the way to Ibiza. So we finally made it to an anchorage. This is the southern end of Ibiza, but it was blown about 25 knots, so we managed to find a little bit of shelter, so we stayed there the night. Just got the motor up and we're leaving Playa Coaxa, just at the southern end of Ibiza, heading for San Antonio. So a nice little bay, bit of building work going on the hill behind us, but they finished it early in the evening, so very peaceful night. I thought it was going to be windier, but it was excellent. Good stopover. One to note for future. Friday morning, 11:15, and we are just tootling up the north coast of Ibiza to San Antonio, which is over there. Just past those rocks sticking out from the headland, and beautiful morning. Sun's come out. It's a bit cloudy, but the sun's come out. It's a bit warmer, and pretty flat sea, and a nice sort of 11, 12 knot wind. So we are close hauled, absolutely creaming it up, doing about sort of 7 knots. So it's a beautiful sail, really stable, and yeah, lovely day to be out on the water. So we're going to go to San Antonio, spend the night over there. I've got a bit of shopping to do. Might go ashore and see if we can get an anchorage there. Last time I was there, it was absolutely chocker, but I'm hoping beginning of May it should be a little bit quieter and maybe able to find somewhere to anchor up there, so we'll go and see. So I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but that is not what you expect of sunny Ibiza. We've got thunderstorms and lightning around us today. So I've just been to the office in the marina and asked if we can stay an extra day in San Antonio, so we're going to do that. and we're going to leave tomorrow morning early, and all this rubbish is passed over to head over to Mallorca. So yeah, oh dear, you can hear that in the background. It's really kicking off. So I didn't want to go sailing today, couldn't be doing with it. So we're going to do a bit of cleaning on the boat. We've got a few jobs to do, so keep ourselves busy and wait it out. So this is about 20 minutes later after my video from the marina. It is absolutely teeming it down in here. The roads are flooded and it's absolute carnage. So it's a great decision to stay the extra night and just have a day sorting the boat out. So I've decided to hide in the laundrette, which is where I am now. Busy doing my washing, which has gathered for about the last week, so I'm staying out for 6 weeks, so I need to sort it out before I fly home for a week on Thursday. So, but yeah, weather absolutely terrible. There's thunder and lightning all around Ibiza and Mallorca. It's not really the sort of weather you expect in the middle of May. But hey ho, you deal with what you're given. Yeah, so the next morning, after it had all subsided and weather had settled down a little bit, we decided to make an early start. So we left San Antonio behind us in the dark. I think it was about 4 in the morning that we left. We thought we'd make an early start so that we'd get to the anchorage in Mallorca in good time. So it's 8:30 in the morning. We are just leaving Ibiza, heading for Mallorca, which we can't see at the moment, over there somewhere. We had a sort of, on a bit of a reach, started off on a bit of a sort of beam reach. The wind came around our back, so we changed sails, and now we've got big buoy up. So that is pulling us along nicely at about 6.5 knots in a fairly light wind. We did have a bit of a nightmare putting it up. We kept getting the sheets the wrong way around, so 3 times it went up and down. And when he finally got it up, we realised that we'd managed to get the fishing line, which was out the back there, wrapped around the keel. So in comes the sail again. We had to retrieve the fishing line, which was not an easy task, but that's all done, and we're now on our way. We've got an ETA over in Mallorca about 3-4 o'clock this afternoon. It's about, from here it's about 50 odd miles, I think. So it looks like it's going to be a sunny day. It's going to be a nice day. Obviously had a storm yesterday, so it's nice to see the sun out and the weather changed more favourably. Yesterday was a headwind if we'd gone to Mallorca, and today we've got a following wind, so it's worth waiting the extra day to get the nice sail. Yeah, so the following day we booked into Port Andrex, took the bus into Palma to try and get some bits to do some repairs on the boat. So this is turning out to be a real saga. We've got some port lights on the boat, which I glued back in again about 2 years ago, which have fallen out again. And doing some research, looks like they're supposed to put primer on them. Basically they're going to Sikaflex, a UV resistant Sikaflex, and they're supposed to have had a primer on them before they were put in, which is the reason why they've dropped out again. So I know on my 3rd trip to Palma to go and get the primer. There's so many different primers, but 3rd time lucky. They were glass before. The ones they sent me to as the replacement hatches, they broke the old ones, are actually acrylic, they're not glass. So I bought all this stuff, which I thought I was meant to buy for glass. Turns out they're acrylic. And then I went in this morning to go and fetch the primer for acrylic, and guess what? They gave me the wrong bloody primer. They gave me the primer for teak decking. So I was on the only one when I was on the bus on the way back. I looked at it and realised what had gone on, so I rang them up and they've got the right one in. So now I'm going to go back to Palma for the third time to basically go and get this stuff. So here I am at the bus. And it's just ready to go to Palma. It is now 11 o'clock, so hopefully I'll be back by about 1:30, something like that. So this is our work from yesterday. Rebonded these windows, this one here and that one over there, and I think we've done a pretty good thorough job. I'm going to leave them taped up for 24 hours just to cure off, but we did them about I think 2-3 years ago, and yeah, they literally fell out, because when I read the instructions we were meant to have primed them, put a special primer on them, which we didn't. So we took them off, cleaned up the hatches, cleaned all the joints, cleaned the windows, primed the hatch and the window, and bonded it back down again. So touch wood, hopefully that will be sufficient. So we are leaving Port Andrex over there today and heading off out over to Arenal. Just leaving Port Andrex. Beautiful day, nice sunny day. And we've got about 20 miles to go to the other side of La Palma, where we're going to leave the boat for a week. But that is La Palma. We just filled up with fuel before leaving. Lovely little spot. Arrival was a bit shambolic, but improved after that. So yeah, it's a bit windy today as well, so we've got about 20 knot wind, probably slightly behind us. So we'll see how we go. And you probably hear it interfering with the microphone. But yeah, it's going to be quite windy out there, I think. Don't know how wavy, but we'll see. Arrived and berthed in Arenal without any serious events. Saw this at our stop in Mallorca, and I couldn't help but take a little video of it. It's an old wooden boat, an absolute ruin that they're obviously restoring, and you can see here that they have redone all the insides, all the basically the skeleton of the boat, and that's what it was like before. So completely rotten, and bit by bit they're redoing the whole boat. I mean, that is, and they obviously left the planks on the outside, and they put some screws in there just to hold them all in place, so they can presumably redo all the planks. I mean, that is a serious piece of restoration work. I mean, that'll take years to do, but somebody's obviously got a passion for it. So this is the less glamorous bit of cruising in the mud, doing the laundry. It's the last day before I go home, before I'm out here for another week. Well, I'll take a week's time. And let's get all the laundry sorted, cleaned, back on the beds for the next team. So most of the marinas have these laundrettes. So that is the job. Yeah, like that. So this is the finish of our first leg of the trip from Gibraltar to Palma. We're in Arenal, which is just south of Palma. It's a beautiful marina, a bit shallow, run aground on the way in, but apart from that, and you can see it's also a little bit bucket and spadey. But yeah, managed to find a restaurant and go out last night. And that is the Bay of Palma, all the way over to Palma, that you can see there in the distance. So yeah, leaving today, flight at 1 o'clock, going back home for a week, and then back out for the next leg from Palma down to Sardinia and Sicily. So that's something to look forward to, and I hope that the weather is favourable for us. So yeah, looking forward to going home for a week and then back out again.